apologies to those of you out here who think the government's actually going to do something about our economic problems. We're going to have to do it ourselves. First of all, I see that everyone has their issues with people in poverty. We could have easily fixed this a long time ago if we actually invested in, say, fruit tree crops. We could have saved ourselves a lot of money. Instead of donating to food banks, we have a base supply of food to provide for these people. The other thing was that we could allow people or restaurants to grow their own fruit on their roofs, which they are doing in Vancouver. As well as it goes, I have a lot of ideas towards that. If everyone, were to combine even a small amount of their wealth, we could see the end of hunger in under 10 years worldwide if everyone was to pitch in. And as long as we keep it in our own economy. The circle continues so we don't deflate our currency. I've been working on a lot of things for a long time, and I'm just frustrated and fed up with the way our government deals with everything. They don't seem to care at all about anything. Even the Canadian government over here, I've been trying to get a hold of them for years, and they won't even bother talking to me. Would it really be so bad instead of having landfills to just recycle everything? You could use sonic technology to disassemble all of our products. And to me, that's cheaper and more effective than what they're doing, throwing away all our resources. We have 30 years of resources left. 30. That's it. And then we're going to be running off recycled materials. So if you don't want to do something now, you're going to have a problem. Other than that, I have also a 0-point fusion reactor design, which no one's going to believe, and I'm probably going to be made fun of for the rest of my life on this, but hey, if you want to help, I think that kindness would be the only real thing that would change it. We have to start changing the way we act towards each other. In the Bible it says to treat everyone like family, to visit your sick. We don't seem to follow these rules that are kind of necessary. What would our world look like if everyone just looked out for one another? If you didn't have to work as much. I find the current system completely unfair and based on stealing from everybody else. Because it's just all the economy is a large circle. Even when you invest, you're just taking money from someone else. When you gain. And basically, it's just set up an economy to steal. This doesn't make sense, because if we were just to look out for each other and there was nothing to gain from it. I don't expect to be respected for my ideas, but what's stopping us from getting together and just fixing these problems? Is it the know-how? You don't have to follow me, but I'm tired of waiting for something to happen and something to get better, so the best thing would just maybe go out and do a little bit here and there for free. Help better the world. Help out your neighbors, and it does turn into jobs a lot of the time. People don't look at self-employment. as a viable option a lot of the time, but there's always work to go around. I mean, you could easily just go and ask people. And again, it even says in the Bible, if you ask, you'll get. Or ask, you'll receive, whatever. Also, it says to give the poor people jobs instead of welfare checks, which I've been trying to get the government to do, and they just won't. Instead of, like, I think they should function as a temporary labor center. And basically, instead of going and picking up a welfare check 1 day a week or 2 days a week, they could at least work part-time. That would save us a lot of money. I mean, you get 1,000 people off welfare, that's $7 million roughly saved. And there's all these people who don't have workers. I mean, you could just show up there and say, hey, I need a temporary worker, and maybe someone will come out there and everything would be fine. I mean, we don't have to cut these people off. What we have to do is find better solutions. And part of better solutions is better handling of things. Like, I walk around and I see all these sad, bitter, negative people, and we are not going to get out of this rut using money. It's not going to work. We can't, because it's built to pretty much collapse. And nobody seems to understand that. And, like, I'm going to go into a few videos with this because I'm taking too long. But what I'm trying to say here is that if I could get enough people behind me, we could fix these problems now. And we won't have to worry about it. I mean, 30 million people a year dying from starvation. Isn't that 30 million too many? And it's only going to get worse. So we may as well deal with it now. Plant the trees. Alright, I'll talk to you later.